Hey everybody, here's an update, November 30th, and these pigs are just chilling. Looks like we have Patricia on the left, Becky in the middle, and Sarah on the right. Patricia and Becky are real similar in color and so forth, but you can tell Becky because she's the bigger one. We've had them here now for about 6 weeks, and they have really grown. But now that they're in this area, in their paddock, it's a 1/4 acre of lots of forage, lots of green. It is fall now here in Texas. You can see a combination of green, yellows, and browns. The leaves are starting to fall. Typically here, the leaves don't fall until like the last part of December or early January sometimes, but this year's been a little different. We've had some cold weather. We've even had a freeze already. And here's the new goats over here. This is Shelly in the front, and then the one in the back is Natalie. They're doing real well. This is their pen, their home, and this is the pigs. Our top tarp broke on one corner, as you can see, but I've got some posts over there. We're going to be putting up a rain collection type roof with sides around here to protect them from the northern winter winds. Here's the chickens having their dust baths. Unlike industrial raised chickens in the big houses, they never get to take a dust bath. So how do they keep mites and bugs and parasites off of them? Well, it's where the chemicals come in. They pump them full of chemicals. These are chemical-free chickens, all natural, the way they were created and behaving the way they were intended to by their creator, taking dust baths. You can see some of the feathers are a little bit different, fluffed up, and a little bit different color because quite a few of them are molting right now. I wanted to show you this setup here. Kind of hard to see, but maybe you can. Original intention was to just raise this panel, keep a minimum tension on these bungee cords where we really don't have to mess with them. And just raise the panel straight up, kick it out a little bit, and set it right down on the cinder blocks. That leaves an 8-inch gap for the chickens to get in and out. Well, we tried that, and it's great for the chickens. They can come and go as they please, go inside and lay eggs, get a drink. But the problem was the goats can go right under there as well. You wouldn't think so, but these are contortionists. Once they get their head under, that's it, it's all over. They go all the way under with their body, and then they get up and go in. So that's why I've stacked up these logs inside. I'm hoping that this doesn't give them enough room to go in far enough to where they can get through and go up because of the logs. It's creating a block. Now they could go in and go laterally like this or at an angle and get up, and the goats will probably figure that out pretty quick. So what I might have to do, we block this off with some wood, block that off with some wood, and make just a narrow little area there, maybe 14, 16 inches wide. So hopefully the goats don't feel comfortable getting in there, or they can't, and they won't. And then the chickens hopefully will, which I'm sure they will, they get used to going in and out from that point. When I first set this up with the logs, there were 7 chickens in there. Now there's only 1. I guess she's the bird brain of the bunch. I'm sure she'll figure it out after a while. We're hoping this idea works. Stay tuned to our channel. I'll typically post updates on projects and contraptions and tell you what works and what doesn't work. hopefully save you a little time on your homestead. The other idea was to, and I've seen this on, I've seen this from Jason Smith from Cog Hill Farm. He had the same issue with goats getting in the chicken coop. So what he did, he created a passageway up a little higher to where it's small enough where the goats were uncomfortable or couldn't get in. And then he had a ramp, I think, on the inside of the coop so the chickens could go up and down the ramp, go right in through the access, and then they jump down onto like a little roost, and then from there on the ground. Well, we've already got a contender here. We'll see if she likes to, she's going to try to go in. Testing 101 here. So far, so good. Here she goes. We'll see. I guess she sees the logs, and I'm hoping that with that perspective, she'll perceive that as a no bueno. Can't go into there. I've heard that that's the way deer are. If you string up a couple of 2 or 3 lines at different elevations, you don't really even have to have a fence. Because of the perception, the deer won't go through it. I could be proven wrong here very quickly. I can see Natalie's really wanting to get in that chicken coop. We'll go have a sit down over here and we'll see if she gets in. I think it's working. I think the logs gives her an uncomfortable perspective. Makes her think she can't actually get in there and go through there. Of course, we're going to be very careful, so I'm sitting out here to make sure they don't try to go in and get caught. Surely don't want them to get hurt or stressed. I still have one bird brain chicken in there. She can't quite figure out how to get out of the coop and join her sisters. That's amazing. Animals are all different. Oh, Natalie, how you doing? How you doing? You want to say hi to everybody? You've seen our other videos, Natalie, and this is Natalie. That one's Shelly. They are Nigerian dwarf crosses. They're mostly Nigerian dwarf. They got a little other in them, which I'm thinking might be a little boar goat because they've got some pretty meaty legs, but I'm by no means a goat expert at all. I've raised sheep before, but this is first go round for goats. Miss Birdbrain's still in the chicken coop. I haven't figured it out yet. I can't believe 7 chickens. They've all got out except her. We're all figured out their access doorway, except her. And the pigs are halfway waking up from their nap. They're kind of making me sleepy, watching them sleep. Yeah, they're getting back up and around. Sun's coming out now. And here's Shelly. She's the little shy one. And that's basically the reason we named her Shelly. Shy Shelly. And I guess we'll have to name this chicken Bird Brain. She's the only one that hasn't figured out how to get out. She's going back and forth. I have to just go in there and grab her and get her out. Here she goes. Maybe she's going to figure it out now. Come on, girl. Well. Here's our 4x4 post that we're going to use to put up a rain collection roof over the pens. And what I did was put some asphalt. I had a can of asphalt that I've been using on our perimeter fence posts, because those are about 8 years old, 9 years old. So I just put asphalt on the top of the post so the rain doesn't enter right into the top. And I'm going to come back and put a mixture of diesel and oil on the outsides of the post, help them to last longer. And on these posts here, I'm going to put them in the ground. I've got about 1.5 feet of asphalt, which surprisingly enough is very easy to apply. You don't really need a brush or anything like that. What I use is just wooden shims, and that seemed to work the easiest. So just spread it on there and apply it. What this will do is it'll keep the moisture from entering and rotting out the post, make the post last a lot longer. Of course, these are already pressure treated, so they've got an advantage there already. But this will really help, and it costs pennies to do it. And out here, as I've said before in the videos, in the fencing video and so forth, this is a sandy loam soil. Not much loam, more sand. But it does have a fairly quick percolation. Depending on where you dig, it's anywhere from 16 to 18 inches, maybe 24 inches down to clay. So this soil doesn't stay wet for too long, unless we just get a lot of rain, which in the last few weeks we have. But anyway, that's why you see the ends look like they're painted black. It's actually asphalt. It's that asphalt tar, Henry brand, I believe is what it is. Anyway, I've got 6 posts. I'm going to put 2 there, 2 right here, and 2 right over here. Build a roof, a metal roof, and have a rain gutter on this side that'll pipe and slope to that tank over there, provide water for both these pens plus the chicken coop. And that tote bin right there, I believe, holds about 250 gallons. You check on Craigslist, you can see them all day long for sale. They don't cost very much. Just want to make sure you're confident of what was in there. What was it used for? You don't want to get one that's been used with toxic chemicals or petroleum products or anything like that. A lot of them have been just used for food products or water and that sort of thing. That's what you want to look for. And then we're going to put tarp around as well to hold off, to help with the northern winter wind. Here's a shot of our, what we're calling our house chickens. Not that they live in the house, but they love this, what we call our Christmas tree. Out here we're mostly all post oak, and there's a few different types of oak, but mostly all post oak. And when we bought the place and started clearing it and so forth, Teresa said, keep my Christmas tree. So that's why that's there. And you can't hardly see it, but you can see a few chickens there underneath it. They love to get underneath that tree, especially in the summertime. The reason I wanted to point these out is these chickens are, of course, from our chicken coop on the back side over there, or on the side of the house, which y'all seen in other videos. And they free range around the house and take care of pests and bugs and everything. And of course, Also take care of their diets as needed. Now the other chickens, we pan over this way. The new chickens, of course, there's the pens for the goats and the pigs. There's the new chicken coop. We have 10 barred rock in that coop. And our idea was hopefully that those chickens will become part of the synergistic team used in our rotational grazing system. We weren't really sure, being that this coop is, as you can see, not really too far from that coop. So we're hoping the chickens didn't mix together and all end up in one coop. So far, so good. We've had no mixing whatsoever. It's not really attributed to this electric fence. The chickens will still go through this electric fence, but these chickens here so far have respected this boundary and stayed put. Now they do go through the cattle panel and come over to the pig side and the goat side at free will, but that's not that big a deal. The main thing is that we're hoping that they'll stay in one of these two paddocks here, the quarter acre there or the quarter acre here, help us out with parasite control and that sort of thing. And then also they're layers, so they're laying eggs. Right now they're not laying a whole lot of eggs because it's molting season. Appreciate you watching the video. Just kind of a laid back video here. What's going on? This is Mark Crawford with Sustainable Frugal Living. If you like the videos, give it a thumbs up. So be sure to subscribe. And you can check back on our newer videos, our newest videos as they come up. You can hit the notification bell if you'd like to get an email or notifications of our new videos. Follow us along as we get into more animals and rotational grazing and a whole lot of good stuff. Some of my contraptions, like on the chicken coop, things like that. Appreciate you watching and love to have you come along with us. So be sure to subscribe. Just hit the subscribe button right below. Appreciate it. Share with anybody you think might be of interest on this type of channel. Like again, this is Sustainable Frugal Living. You can share on your social media. Checking out our truck. This is a Dodge Ram 1500. Everything looks all good until you get around here and we're like, oh, wait a minute. Seem to be missing a lens cover like that on this side. What the heck? I was backing out the other morning and Teresa was out here and she said, hold up. You don't have a light. You're missing a light. And I jumped out and sure enough, missing the whole lens assembly. I think this happened at the shop where I work in San Antonio, but they broke it off, I guess, instead of taking the screws out. If they did take the screws out, they put them back in, which that would be highly irregular. So I think they broke it off on this side. Of course, that side just clips off, comes straight out this way. And I guess they needed a lens assembly more than I do, I reckon. But that's the way it goes. I went online. For those of you that have ever had to replace these or in the future reference, you can go to the dealership and they're like 120 to 150 bucks depending on your make and model and all that. I found this one on Amazon. I actually found some for about 60 bucks, but there weren't any in stock. So the next one up I found, I think, was $74, $75, something like that. $75, I guess. And they had next day shipping for like $6, $7 bucks. So I went ahead and opted for that, and we're hoping to get it delivered today because we really need to get to town to get some more lumber. Rubber boots. Yeah, all the videos seem like here lately, especially you see me wearing rubber boots, as well as Teresa. The reason I wear rubber boots instead of my regular work boots is I don't have good cushion insoles for my work boots, and it makes my feet hurt after a while. With the rubber boots, of course, I don't get any insects or anything, or it cuts down loads on insect bites and chiggers and stuff like that. Right now it's in the fall going towards winter, so we don't have that much of an issue. I'm still wearing the boots though, because my feet feel better in the boots, the rubber boots, than my work boots. And I think I'm attributing it to the rubber soles, which I guess provide a little bit more cushion or something. I don't know. It could be other issues with my feet. I'm getting older. That's the way it is. Anyway, that's why you see Teresa and I wearing rubber boots in our videos. It doesn't mean it's raining here or wet. It's just that it's easier on our feet. And they're easy to get on and off as well.